The story begins in the year 1830, with a haunting image, a lifeless body hanging from a tree near a quiet river in a desolate landscape. In the next scene, we meet Augustus Landor, a retired detective, washing his hands along the riverbank. Landor now lives alone in a modest cottage by the water, having left behind his career in law enforcement. Soon, officers from a nearby military academy arrive at his doorstep. The body seen earlier belonged to one of their cadets, and they've come to request Landor's help in solving the case. Known for cracking complex investigations during his time on the force, Landor earned the respect of the city's highest officials. The academy's captain personally escorts him to their headquarters. At the academy, the captain praises Landor, explaining that even the governor has endorsed his involvement. Despite his professional accolades, Landor has endured deep personal loss. His wife passed away 3 years ago, and his daughter ran off with someone, leaving him emotionally adrift. In his solitude, Landor turned to alcohol, and his dependency became well known. The colonel, aware of Landor's struggles, hesitates to entrust him with such a sensitive case. But Landor, setting aside his grief, asks for the details. The colonel explains that a cadet named Fry was found dead, apparently by suicide. However, what truly disturbed them was that Fry's heart had been removed after his body was taken to the hospital. Landor is taken to the hospital where Fry's body is being examined. Dr. Marquis, the attending physician, describes how someone had expertly sliced open Fry's chest and extracted the heart. Landor asks whether such a procedure would require surgical skill. The doctor replies that anyone with anatomical knowledge could manage it. It doesn't necessarily require a surgeon. Landor then visits the site where Fry was discovered. The captain and the soldier who found the body accompany him. The soldier recounts hearing screams during his patrol and discovering Fry hanging from a tree. Oddly, Fry's feet were still touching the ground. Landor asks if anyone else was seen nearby, but the soldier says no. Landor nods and dismisses him. Back at the hospital, Landor inspects the body himself. He notices a severe wound on the back of Fry's head and abrasions on his hands, likely from struggling against the rope. These signs suggest Fry didn't take his own life, but was forcibly hanged. Dr. Marquis returns and is startled to see the head injury he missed earlier. Together, they unclench Fry's fist and discover a scrap of paper with cryptic letters. The doctor is shocked he overlooked such a vital clue. Landor pockets the note and prepares to leave, but the captain stops him. The captain asks Landor to investigate discreetly to protect the academy's reputation. He also warns Landor to stay sober during the investigation, reminding him of his reputation as a drunk. Landor agrees to the terms and begins his inquiry. He revisits the scene of the hanging, searching for evidence. While there, a cadet named Edgar approaches. Edgar claims he's conducting his own investigation and believes the killer is a poet. With that cryptic remark, he walks away. Later, Landor questions the constable who was guarding Fry's body when the heart was stolen. The constable says he was relieved of duty at 2:30 a.m. by an officer whose face he couldn't see in the dark. Oddly, the officer lacked a rank badge, an unusual and dishonorable omission. Puzzled, Landor heads to a local tavern to clear his mind. He's greeted by Patty, the bartender, who seems troubled. When asked, she reveals she knew Fry personally and is deeply saddened by his death. She adds that only a select few at the academy knew about Fry's passing. Landor is surprised and asks how she found out. Patty gestures toward a man in the bar. It's Edgar. Landor confronts Edgar, asking why he believes the killer is a poet. Edgar, speaking in a lyrical tone, says only a poet could conceive of stealing someone's heart. He admits he's a poet himself and understands such thinking. Landor realizes Edgar is drunk. As Landor prepares to leave, Edgar shares a secret. Fry had a falling out with his roommate, though no one knows why. The next day, Landor and the captain summon 2 soldiers for questioning. One of them is Fry's roommate. Landor asks about the dispute. The roommate insists it wasn't serious. He was trying to steer Fry away from bad influences. They argued briefly, but Fry never revealed who those friends were. Landor records the statement and lets him go. Next, they question Stoddard, the last person to see Fry alive. Stoddard says Fry was in a rush and trying to avoid the officers. He didn't say where he was going, only that it was urgent. As he speaks, Stoddard's face pales, raising Landor's suspicions. Since Stoddard feels unwell, Landor allows him to leave. Just then, an officer delivers a message to the captain. The hearts of a cow and a goat were stolen the previous night. Alarmed, the captain orders a full lockdown of the academy to prevent further incidents. Despite the restrictions, Landor and Edgar meet outside the academy. Landor assumes Edgar knew Fry personally, but Edgar says they never met. Landor proposes they work together on the case, and Edgar agrees. Landor hands Edgar the note found in Fry's hand and asks him to decipher the incomplete message. That night, Edgar visits Landor's home and reveals he's managed to decode part of the letter. According to the letter, the killer had written it himself, inviting Fry to a meeting under the guise of something urgent. This suggested Fry knew the person well, which explained why he went without hesitation. Landor is impressed by Edgar's insight, though parts of the message remain incomplete. Together, they work to decode the rest. After much effort, they begin to suspect the sender was likely a woman. They reason that a young cadet would only sneak out at night for someone he was emotionally drawn to. Edgar then shares something deeply personal. His mother passed away 2 decades ago, but he believes her spirit still speaks to him. She recites verses to him at night, which he records in his journal. One morning, he wrote a poem about a sorrowful girl who had committed a crime. That same morning, he saw a girl outside his window who looked exactly like the one he had described. Edgar believes she might be connected to the murder. He admits he only saw her once, but the coincidence was too strong to ignore. Landor finds the story difficult to believe and begins to question Edgar's mental state. Later that night, while in the company of Patty, the bartender, Landor asks her about Edgar. Patty says Edgar is a kind soul, but he's completely alone in the world. She believes he imagines his mother's presence to cope with the isolation. Landor, who understands that kind of loneliness, feels sympathy for Edgar. The next day, while investigating at the hospital, Landor begins to wonder, why would someone want to keep a heart? The thought leads him to suspect a connection to dark rituals. He writes to Edgar, asking him to meet at an abandoned house. There, Landor stumbles upon symbols and markings linked to occult practices. By the time Edgar arrives, Landor has uncovered evidence suggesting the killer was harvesting hearts for ritualistic purposes. They visit a friend of Landor's who is well versed in black magic. He directs them to a book written by a renowned witch hunter. One passage describes a ritual offering, the heart of a hanged man, to appease demonic forces. The friend also mentions Henry Clare, a legendary witch hunter who claimed to have slain hundreds of witches. Clare had written another book detailing a ritual for immortality, though its whereabouts remain unknown. Landor then asks Edgar to befriend the Academy's soldiers and discreetly find out who among them might be familiar with black magic. Edgar does as instructed and learns that Artemis, the doctor's son, has knowledge of the occult. Using a casual excuse, Edgar befriends Artemis. One day, Artemis invites him to a party. At the party, Edgar charms the guests with his poetry. Through conversation, he learns that Artemis and his friend Bellinger were close to Fry. He also discovers that Fry had fallen in love with Artemis's sister, Leah, but she had broken his heart. Meanwhile, Landor experiences a haunting moment. While asleep, he hears crying and sees his daughter weeping nearby. She vanishes moments later, leaving him distraught. These emotional episodes have become frequent since her disappearance. The next morning, during Fry's funeral, his mother hands Landor Fry's diary, hoping it might help. The contents are written in a secret code. Landor begins the painstaking process of decoding it. Meanwhile, Edgar grows closer to Leah, the same girl he saw outside his window the day he wrote the poem. He invites her to a secluded spot to learn more about her. But upon meeting her, he's captivated by her beauty and innocence. Unexpectedly, Leah suffers a seizure and collapses. Edgar panics, but she recovers quickly. At the same time, Landor finally cracks the code in Fry's diary. That night, as Edgar walks back from the academy, he senses someone nearby. Suddenly, Bellinger attacks him, warning him to stay away from Leah. Bellinger, also in love with her, is jealous of Edgar's growing closeness. Landor arrives just in time and drives Bellinger away. Edgar, furious, threatens to kill Bellinger if he interferes again. Landor calms him down and urges restraint. The next morning, Landor learns from the captain that Bellinger has gone missing. He joins the search party, and soon they find Bellinger hanging from a tree, just like Fry. His heart has also been removed. At the hospital, Dr. Marquette examines the body and notes key differences. The chest wounds are not the same, and this time, the killer has also mutilated Bellinger, rendering him impotent. The colonel, enraged, begins to question Landor's competence. He scolds him for failing to produce any solid leads. Meanwhile, the captain confides in Landor. He now suspects Edgar may be involved. The captain reveals that during dinner the previous night, Edgar openly spoke about his altercation with Bellinger, and even threatened to kill him in front of others. Landor defends Edgar, insisting he's a good kid who may have spoken out of anger, but isn't capable of murder. Then the captain shares something unexpected. Edgar had also clashed with Fry the previous summer. The colonel adds that he would have arrested Edgar long ago if there had been any concrete evidence. This revelation stuns Landor. Edgar had once told him he didn't even know Fry. Landor confronts Edgar directly, demanding answers. Edgar explains that since joining the academy, he's had conflicts with many cadets, mostly because of how he looks or behaves. But he insists he never let bitterness take root in his heart. Landor, moved by Edgar's sincerity, begins to believe he's innocent. Later that day, Dr. Marquis hosts a dinner to mourn Bellinger's death, inviting both Landor and Edgar. During the meal, Artemis loses his composure and begins insulting Landor, accusing him of secretly searching his room. His mother, upset by Artemis' behavior, leaves the table. Leah follows shortly after. The doctor apologizes for his family's conduct and offers Landor a drink to ease the tension. While preparing it, Landor notices a book on the shelf, one filled with occult symbols. Suspicious, he asks the doctor about Leah's health. The doctor admits she suffers from a debilitating condition that keeps her in constant fear, and she's never married because of it. Artemis then calls them to hear Leah play the piano. Landor declines, saying he needs fresh air, and uses the moment to sneak into Artemis' room. Meanwhile, Edgar is completely entranced by Leah's music. He's fallen so deeply for her that he'd do anything to protect her. In Artemis' room, Landor finds a coat missing its rank insignia, just like the one described by the guard who was relieved of duty the night Fry's heart was stolen. Mrs. Marquis walks in and is surprised to see the coat. Landor brings it downstairs. The doctor claims it belonged to his late brother and has no idea how it ended up in the house. Landor points out it was found in Artemis' room. Before Artemis can respond, the captain arrives with news. Another cadet, Stoddard, is missing. Stoddard was the last person to see Fry alive and had given a nervous statement to Landor. They rush to search his room and find his belongings gone. Landor concludes that Stoddard fled on his own, likely terrified after seeing what happened to Fry and Bellinger. The coat discovery casts suspicion on Artemis, but Landor still lacks definitive proof. He asks the colonel for more time to investigate. Meanwhile, Edgar recites a poem to Leah, and she invites him for a walk. On the other side of town, Landor visits his friend again and learns that Henry L. Cleric, the author of the Immortality Book, was a known devil worshipper. His friend shows him a portrait of Henry, which Landor recognizes from the doctor's house. Landor rushes back, remembering the Book of Dark Magic and the same portrait hanging on the wall. His suspicions about the doctor's family deepen. When he examines the book, he confirms it was written by Henry Cleric. Landor confronts the doctor and demands the truth. The doctor, shaken, confesses everything. Leah is terminally ill, with only 3 months to live. Desperate to save her, he tried every treatment, but nothing worked. Then Leah claimed her ancestor, Henry Cleric, spoke to her and revealed a ritual that could grant immortality. After performing the ritual, Leah began to recover. Encouraged, the entire family joined in. While the doctor explains this, Leah, her mother, and Artemis are in an abandoned house, preparing the final ritual. Leah has Edgar, unconscious, laid out before her. She holds Fry's heart and prepares to offer it to the devil. She marks her forehead with Edgar's blood and begins chanting. Back at the doctor's house, Landor learns Leah and Artemis plan to kill Edgar. Edgar regains partial consciousness and realizes Leah intends to kill him. But his love for her is so strong, he's willing to die if it means saving her. Leah continues the ritual, moving to extract Edgar's heart. Just then, Landor bursts in. The family threatens him with a knife. A candle falls, igniting the house. Chaos erupts. Artemis and Landor fight. Leah keeps chanting until a burning beam crashes down on her. Artemis rushes to help her. Landor seizes the moment and carries Edgar out. As flames consume the house, Artemis and his mother focus on Leah. A collapsing section traps them. Landor manages to save the doctor's wife, but Leah and Artemis perish in the fire. Edgar is devastated. Later, Edgar is safely admitted to the Academy Hospital. Dr. Marquis resigns. The captain and colonel thank Landor and apologize for doubting him. Landor returns home, but the story isn't over. Days later, Edgar visits Landor, fully recovered. He says he's uncovered something about Landor's daughter. He walks inside, visibly angry. Edgar has discovered a secret Landor kept hidden. The handwriting on the letter Landor once gave Edgar matches the note found in Fry's hand. This means Landor himself lured Fry to his death. To understand why, Edgar investigated further. He learned from Patty that one night, Landor's daughter was assaulted by 3 cadets from the academy. After learning the truth, Edgar was convinced that Fry had played a role in the crime against Landor's daughter. But now, he needed to hear everything directly from Landor, because the pieces were already falling into place. Landor finally opens up. His daughter hadn't run away with anyone. She had taken her own life, throwing herself from a mountain after suffering a horrific assault. Landor had spent years quietly hunting down those responsible. He had found Fry's locket among his daughter's belongings, confirming Fry as one of the 3 culprits. To exact revenge, Landor forged a letter in Patty's name and lured Fry out of the academy. He struck Fry unconscious, then staged his death as a hanging. Before leaving, Landor demanded the names of the other 2 boys, but Fry refused to speak. Just then, Landor heard someone approaching and fled the scene. By sheer coincidence, or fate, the doctor later removed Fry's heart for a ritual, making it seem like part of a larger occult pattern. Landor felt as if the universe itself was helping him deliver justice. When the colonel appointed Landor to investigate Fry's death, he used the opportunity to mask his own actions. He leaned into the black magic theory, knowing the doctor's family was already steeped in superstition. To reinforce the illusion, Landor himself removed the hearts of animals and planted them as ritualistic clues. While decoding Fry's diary, Landor uncovered the name of the second attacker, Bellinger. He confronted him, forced a confession, and then killed him, removing his heart to mimic Fry's murder. Bellinger revealed the third name, Stoddard. But before Landor could act, Stoddard fled the academy in fear. Edgar asks why Landor didn't pursue him. Landor replies that he no longer had the strength to kill again. He only hoped that wherever Stoddard ended up, he would carry the weight of guilt for the rest of his life. In this way, Landor had orchestrated a quiet, calculated revenge, deceiving the entire academy and hiding his actions behind the veil of superstition. And he felt no remorse. Everything he did was for his daughter. But Edgar, still grieving Leah's death, is torn. He realizes that even this punishment wouldn't be enough for the men who destroyed Landor's daughter. So he burns the evidence. After everything, Landor is left with nothing but memories. In the final scene, he climbs to the top of the mountain, where his daughter once stood, and gazes into the distance, seeking reunion with the only family he ever truly loved. Well, that's it guys, that's the end of the movie. Leave a comment and let us know your thoughts. Please subscribe to my channel, it would mean the world to me. Also, remember to like the video and gently touch on the bell icon to receive a notification whenever I release a new video. I will see you in the next video. Take care and be well.